This is the 2019 Father's Day Car Show at Christ Community Church of Milpitas. A Volkswagen Bug, a police cruiser, and in the distance, some 60s cars. Some of the church members from the church attend. We had lots of cameos in here, but I could not use all the names and footage of them. Here we have a 60s Chevrolet, 63 or so, 64 Mustang, and a 63 or 4 Chevelle again, and a really cool looking black hot rod from a Hot Rodders Club, with a lot of cool stickers and paraphernalia inside as well, and a sort of a grease type hot rod from probably the same hot rodding club. So we have sort of a walkthrough where there's a old car and a modern car, semi-modern 80s car. We have you can look them over and pause them and see what they are. Here's a modern Jeep and an older Jeep. Don't think it's still pretty modern. And that's an older one. That's a converted truck Jeep thing. And this is a 1900s car, possibly from the Hilker family. We have the Studebaker and the Hudson, which looks similar to the Doc Hudson in Cars. And then we have another one that's another that one from last year, and 57 Chevy. So it looks like I don't know what that is. So here we have a Ford plant, Milpitas Ford plant era Mustang that's been repainted once. And some other ones. Some motorbikes, BMW and a Honda, something else. Camaros and Oldsmobiles, lots of Camaros. There's a Camaro club there. So they came. Let's see. That's a Charger, or possibly a newer Charger, 2010s model, possibly 2015, 2016. I didn't look that closely, but yeah, it's one of the newer ones. There's a couple of those. There's a black one too. That's an Oldsmobile. That was a cruiser, and there we have a Camaro. And a fancy looking older car that's not a Camaro, but there's the green Camaro from I think last year. And then you have a Corvette, 53 Corvette. We have a more modern 2012 Corvette, and a 60s era sedan. Original condition. 2000s late 2000s Charger, possibly 2018. Another Oldsmobile, Chevelle, similar to the one over there. Not a Camaro, it's a Chevelle. Here we have the BMW. That was a guy's and an old Bugatti, I think, something like that. We have another Camaro, similar to the Stroker Aces car, but it's not. We have a Jaguar, a couple of them, and there was also a rally car. There was this is the other side of the thing a bit later in the day, after the first service, showing the other side of the car. If you want to pause the stuff inside and look around, we're going to go look inside closer at these Frank George garage car done up like something out of the Foose brothers from that car show years ago. It's not them, but it's somebody else. And Route 66 stuff, and which was still a historic route in the 80s. It was half closed down by then, but it had the Interstate 80 replaced it, but it was on a piece of that years ago when I was like 13. Anyway, so yeah. Let's see. We have we have other. Yeah, it's the same. Those older Chevys, like some out of Dragnet or something like that. Early James Bond days. Well, not James Bond. It would be. I showed them earlier, but now I'm going back and getting a closer look at them. That's what's going on. So yeah, there's the Mustang. I guess that's the original paint or a modification of the paint. Very close to the factory. It's polished. It's a 75, possibly. A 65. Yeah. It's not a 70. That would be a fastback. 65. The pony car, the Mustang. It's got a. Well, is V8 in there or V6? Well, that big old thing is probably a V8. It's huge. It's a really good condition. Yeah. Here we have the other side of the tail lights of the other cars. We have, let's see, off to the side we have the director guys. The guy that owns it, I mean. And we have, the wheels are different. Apparently the official wheels are in the shop to make it look more like the original stock. It's Amanda in the background. Hi, Amanda. So we have sort of a. I don't know if that's like primer painted on the Chevy Nova, and they pointed out before I got to it that the Chevy Nova. They said it didn't go, and it didn't sell very well in Latin American countries because it's a Nova. It doesn't go. Well, it does go. It does run, but it's a Chevy Nova. Also referenced in Ninja Turtles. It's not the same one though. That's that gray colored one, similar to in, I believe, the other car in Bullet was a similar car to that, because the car in Bullet was a Mustang. It was like a 70-something Mustang. It was a late 60s Mustang. So yeah, but the enemy car was the other one. It was a Nova. Anyway, we have a sort of a other Chevelle type of thing. I'm assuming that with the other Chevelle they're going to paint it. Now this red one here is going to be. It has, looks like an inline. It's interesting. Yeah. Inline 8. Looks like it. Maybe not though. Yeah, it kind of looks like it. Maybe I just can't see the other side of it. But yeah, it doesn't look like it has. Maybe I'm just confusing where the carburetor is, because they had carburetors back then. In the 60s and 70s. And that's a cruiser. You could take that down to El Camino Real in the 60s and cruise. And here's the police cruiser, because police cars tended to get smaller and smaller until they were practically Mustang size, and you couldn't fit any prisoners in the back. So they went to SUVs. So they have SUVs now. With, assuming that's a stroke V6 engine. Not stroke, but V6. With cop tires, cop brakes, cop shocks, cop radio, cop amenities, like that. To quote Aykroyd in Blues Brothers. Yes. And here's we have a Porsche, another car next to it. A golden Porsche. That's probably not the original color. I don't think. I don't think they came in gold. Maybe they did. I don't think so though. I think it's been painted. 72. Be cool if maybe it. No, I don't know. Metal Fleck doesn't seem to be what color it was. That's cool. That's a cruiser truck, similar to the El Camino. It's actually not an El Camino. So that's cool. It's a Chevrolet Impala truck, perhaps. It was one of their unique brands. They tried car truck, sports trucks before sports trucks. That's what that is. Here's a Jaguar. I didn't know what it was at first. It's a Jaguar. It's a Jaguar F-Type. Yeah, Jaguar. But yeah. So we have Jaguar F-Type. And here's a SUV that's probably just parked there. And what is that? A modern Chevy, perhaps? I think it's just parked there too. Or it might be a Nissan or something. So we cut through the inner place where there used to be the other side of the kitchen and the other side of the old sanctuary. Remnants of it are in the building. We come to the bikes from behind. There's the Honda and the other one. One of them might be the Taylor. It's the Red Wing. So yeah, we got over here. That's a Lexus that I thought was a Jaguar earlier. That's a Lexus. Lexus, near the Lexus. Now we have this cruiser. That's a V8. What was it? It wasn't a 420. It was like a 320 Rally Sport. Yeah. It's a sport engine. It wasn't directly a racing engine, but you could race with it. So yeah, Rally Sport engine. Is it? And it has nice detailing. It's not the original paint. Seats have been redone. It's mint. It's cherry, but it's not mint. It is, yeah. Well, it couldn't be mint because none of them are off the factory floor. It had to be either. Yeah, it's made to look cherry. The Ford Mustang that was orange wasn't quite cherry. So he was annoyed that I noticed up close. But I said no, it's okay. It adds character. But this green one is clearly not been waxed in a while. I guess he wants to keep the luster that color, but you could wax it. There's a rally car. It's kind of cool. It doesn't have a back seat. It's either in the process of being turned into a rally car or turned into a regular car. It has one of those engines pointing sideways. Inline engine. We have or that's the carburetor. Or the fuel injector. That's your fuel injector. It's a newer one. These older ones have a carburetor on top. Little cylindrical thing on top is a carburetor. I got to sit in the passenger side of their show. I was saying because I didn't think they wanted me to sit in the driver's seat. They probably thought I wanted to steal it. Now here we have a Corvette. I didn't. Here we have a Corvette, 63 Corvette, 53 Corvette, and back to me, but I'm not. So yeah, so the 53 Corvette backed into Lexi. Okay, this was a bit later too. After the second service, as of the sun coming out, all that footage. As of the footage with the passage through the Jaguar, that was later. In attendance, you had probably about 300 people, 400 people all together from the congregation came out. They're not all from the church that come to bring the cars there. Some of them don't go to the church. They just want to bring the cars. Father's Day Car Show. Yeah, my late father would have liked these. He would be in his 90s if he was done. But no. 2009, he passed away, and then did the car show since 2011 on this channel. It's one of the first things we put up there was a car show. In the 2011 era, when the channel was restored in 2011, there's no videos on there that go back earlier than that, but the channel started in 2007. The SAP Productions channel, the original Kal Kat show. Here we have the fuzzy dice around the look around. There's your fancy schmancy car with a slight things on the back, but no one would really notice unless they had a high def camera. Now Mako did an okay job. They should have caught the rust bus. That guy looked kind of like upset, or maybe he just kind of looked like that anyway because he's jolly. Sort of like, in my car. I said my brother used to work at the Ford plant. Didn't remember me from last year. Anyway, there's a nice Hudson. Something similar. There's that's a Nissan, isn't it? It's not a Back to the Future car. It's an 80s car. It kind of seems to be back to the other shot because it's in a similar angle, but it's not. It's later on. Showing some of the Jeeps. The Jeep cars. So yeah, I'm just doing a narrated version of this so you know what's going on, even though I don't need to. I have the chipmunky version. Somebody made a deal. Something. Here we have same Mustang or another one. So yeah. Another shot of the panel trucks from behind. We have Jeeps from behind, entering from the rear. But yes, yeah, off and on there's hundreds of people walking around. But at this point, it looks like it's waning a little bit. There's maybe 50, 60 people walking. Shot of Amanda's sister. Jessica, but not done off to the side there in the back. Scott Boyd at one point on there, but so very briefly, it doesn't matter. Here we have just because I didn't interview him, so he didn't have a car out there. So I didn't either. Didn't have the Toyota out there. That'd have been funny. There were too many Toyotas in the parking lot. We'll get a new one, we'll put it out there. But yeah, so there's the bikes. If you want to read the little placards, you can pause it. Here we have the same part. As before, the Lexus, and another car, Johnson, and yeah. So, okay, yeah, we tried to record this before, but there was music playing in the park, and there isn't any now, so I got everything. Here we go to the end of the show, pretty much. We have everything in here. Narration is just telling you what's already on the screen. But lots of Camaros and Oldsmobiles. Well, yeah. Chevy V's. This is Chevy, yeah, I know. All American Mopar cars, basically. Some Dodges, some Fords, and some Corvettes and things. Yeah, bikes. BMWs here and there. Yeah. A lot of guys buy a car when they get middle-aged and they have to have a car. They want to look at this car, amazing car I got. But I go out and get a cheap Toyota. But yeah, yeah, I did not go out and get. Oh, I did not go out and buy a car that was Kim. She's leaving eventually, so yes, she won't be on the show anymore. Here we have, yeah, yeah, brief shot of everybody, and we're coming to the end of this, and yeah, Pastor Jim and the guy that got the BMW, which really interested him for some reason. I guess because he had one at some point. I guess they're okay. The Beamer thing. But yeah, that's a Corvette. That's cool. There's some really cool cars there. Other car aficionados are leaving. Yeah, I filmed the car, the Hela. It's kind of funny that that's at a church. It says Hela. But yeah. But yeah, that's the end of the. It doesn't mean that though. Anyway, yeah, it's an acronym for something else. So yeah, back to the other cars on the side there, and the owner of that one. And they did have a red Charger, or a orangey Charger thingy, Daytona. So there was one there. Maybe that was Sinead's. I don't know. Maybe that'd be cool. So yeah, that'd be kind of like the Dukes of Hazzard car that gets modern. Anyway, that's it. That's the show. So that's it. Go to the end. It wasn't mine.